Okay, so hello. Let's talk about um, blog post replies and pop quizzes. So each week, you have to post a blog. Let's just look at this. So students are required to post 8 blogs, one for each content week. A week that is not a content week is the week that you do your tests and your production analysis. I'm sorry, the week you do your production analysis, and you do have tests this week, and finals week. So for every week that we read stuff and we watch stuff, you have to post a blog. And a blog is a response to the prompt questions that I post. Before I get all off track here, let's just read this. So each blog is due by Sunday of each week at 11:59 p.m. I would say midnight, but I can't program in midnight into that. I probably can, but I can never remember is midnight, AM, or PM. Anyway, so get it in by midnight on Sunday of each week, and you have to reply to at least one other student's blog by Sunday night of the following week. What is a blog? A blog is a response to the prompt questions, and it's a response, it's a discussion with your fellow students about the prompts that I give you. So I pose these questions and you reply to them in a discussion manner with your fellow students. I will read them, of course, but no, I'm not going to read them. I will probably not comment on your blogs. Think of them as an opportunity to discuss the material with your fellow students. Now, on occasion, I may, if someone posts something and it's not quite accurate, then I will blog in to clarify, to make sure everything stays on the right track. But I'm not gonna. These are discussions with your fellow students, so think of it that way. There you go. Blogs and replies do not have to be long. If it's less than 150 words, it's probably not long enough because the prompts that I give you require some thought and there's a lot you could say on it. If it's more than 300 words, you probably need to edit a little bit. Bear in mind that all students are required to read all blogs. So don't be too loquacious and be a little respectful of your fellow students and my time. But there may be weeks where you just have a lot to say about it. And okay, right away, if your thoughts are thoughtful, then I want to read them. And I hope your fellow students do too. I do encourage you, if it goes over 300 words, to really proofread and edit if possible. Use it as an exercise in business writing, writing succinctly, because you send people, you get a job out in the real world, some of you know this already, and you send emails to people and they're really, really long, and people just aren't going to read them. So think about that. What are we looking for with the blogs? You will get credit for your blog if it's clear that you've read all the information that the prompts cover. A prompt does not cover every single bit of information that we read or viewed that week. It couldn't. So as long as it clearly indicates that you have read and absorbed the material that the prompt covers, that's what we're looking for. As long as your blog indicates that you have read your fellow students' posts, the ones that were posted before yours especially, if you're first, good for you, you don't have to read your fellow students' blogs. You do have to reply to one though. Then that's a good thing. Now it can seem a little tricky. Don't overthink this. Just read your fellow students' blogs and you will be okay. The way people get in trouble with number 2 here is they don't read the other posts and they replicate something that somebody else says, or they contradict something that somebody else says without acknowledging, hey, I'm contradicting what you said. So just read them and you will be okay. You do not have to make an effort to prove that you read the other posts, but If you didn't, I will have my sneaky Zen sense way of knowing you didn't. And as long as you put some careful thought into your response, you're going to get credit. I'm like I said, I'm not going to reply to them. So no news is good news. If I don't reply at all, then you got credit. Then you're good to go. On the rare occasion, and it is not very often this is going to happen, so don't feel like you have to do the perfect post so I don't post this. It is not very often, but on occasion, rare occasion, I do message a student. Well, I do say within the post, okay, this is okay, but we need to put some more thought into this. If I do that, then you need to repost. And as long as you repost that by the end of the term, you'll be fine. Where was I? So no news is good news. Reply should be, so what is a reply? A reply is simply a thoughtful response to what your students, what your fellow students have said. Think about it at the same word count. If it get, keep it short. However, replies like, that's great, or I had the same question, or word, those aren't thoughtful enough. However, I would love it if you do those. You have to reply to one thoughtfully, but if you do want to repost things like awesome, like, yeah, that's cool, I had the same idea, it really creates a social environment within the class, and that is very beneficial, not just because it's fun, it's proven you learn better in a social environment. So go ahead, but reply away. You're only required to do one, though. When asked, okay, so this is kind of a little side note here. If you do have questions about course material that you want to direct to me, post them to the Ask Brian forum, because that way I know, hey, this person is expecting a reply, and instead of just sending me an email, other students can benefit from your question. Because if it's a question, I probably covered this in somewhere else in the class, but if it's a question that you had, other students probably had it. Don't post questions about your grades or other things that are sensitive kind of information on Ask Brian, because everybody can read them, and I'm not going to reply to it. I'll simply reply with an email, and that's kind of a hassle for me to have to read one place and go to another place to reply. So please do not ask questions about your grades and Ask Brian. However, if it's about content, or if it's about, hey, Brian, did you mean to say that this assignment was due Monday on one place and you said it was due Thursday on another place, I probably screwed up. So that's a good place to ask those kind of things, but don't ask sensitive information. So pop quizzes, same structure as the blogs. But I will respond to the pop quizzes. I'll say, awesome. That might be quick. I might just say, you rock, or whatever. And that way you've gotten credit. If instructor, I will probably not, if I reply with anything, then you're good to go. If I reply with, hey, tweak this and repost, then you need to redo it in order to get the credit. But that's only due by the end of the term. So, that's fine. In order same thing. In order to earn the credit for the pop quiz, you must indicate that you have read all the material that is the subject of the pop quiz. Put some careful thought into your response. You are not required to read other students' pop quizzes, but if you want to, they're in a forum so everybody can read them. A forum is a thing in Moodle. Anyway, forum is a discussion forum. And these things, forums are live for all students to see all responses. Now, how is this affecting your grade? For every single blog, every single reply, and every single pop quiz, if you post on time, you will have 1 point added to your final average. Between the three of them, there are over 20 opportunities to earn points on your final average. There you go. That's for each one. If you do one on time, you're not getting 20 points. For each single one, each single reply, each single quiz, each single blog, 1 point added to your final average. If you post after Sunday of the week for the pop quiz and for the blog, and after Sunday of the next week for your reply, you will get 1 point deducted from your final average. If you don't ever post for each single one, you'll get 2 points deducted from your final average. And there is, we talked about the drop dead date. There's the drop dead date, and nothing can be turned in after the drop dead date. So now let me add that there's no easy way to keep track of this in Moodle. It's a computer program. It's out to kill us. So I keep track of them on my own, on paper. And the way I will add them, there's not a category for this in Moodle. I will simply add them to other grades. Now, that's how they'll show up. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. So I will add, just say like on one of your tests, you make an 85. Then at the end of the term, I'll go back and look at all the blogs that you posted on time, and I will add points to that 85 until it reaches 100, and then I'll have to go to something else. I can only, enter your grades is to be 100. There's for each assignment. So same thing in the reverse. At the end of the term, I'll go back and look at every blog that you posted late, every pop quiz you posted late, and every reply that was late, and I will take a point away from a grade. But let's not be in that situation. Get them in on time, and you're going to rock and roll in this class. All right. That's it. Bye.